So today we're talking about this backpack. This is the Filip Raboch Daypack, which is a custom-made backpack in the Czech Republic. A lot to talk about, so let's just jump right in. As I mentioned in the very short intro, this is the Filip Raboch Daypack. This is the recycled version of that bag. This bag comes in tons of different versions, and there are tons of customizations you can. Hello, Mambo. Hello, Mambo. There are tons of customizations you can do to this bag, and honestly, that's one of the best features of this bag. Now, the configuration I have here is the stock, bog standard, absolute basic version, and it comes in at around $225 US at the time I'm filming this video. He's pretty busy right now, and I don't think he's taking new orders, but I think as time goes on, he will continue to take new orders, and you'll be able to get your bag eventually if you do really want one of these. Now, this bag is made out of recycled material. It's made out of EcoPack, which is a kind of competitor, I suppose, to X-Pack or to the X-Pack types material, to the X-Pack type materials that you've seen. X-Pack is a kind of laminated material. This is a laminated material too. EcoPack's actually the brand, so just imagine this would be similar to, in this case, this is EPX 400, which would be similar to VX 42 in X-Pack. The 400 stands for the denier of the face material, not the laminated material. There are tons and tons of things that go into this, but basically what you can gather from this is that laminated materials tend to be a little bit lighter and a little bit more weather resistant. This one's recycled, so I don't mind doing my part for the world or whatever. This is a 16 or 17 liter backpack. It's very reminiscent of something like the GORUCK Bullet 15, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, and I will compare them as we kind of get into it. I've known Filip for a while. Filip's a good guy. I think it's very cool that you can get a backpack like this from somebody. You can actually talk to the person who's building the bag for you. I mean, like, in this day and age, that kind of thing doesn't exist very often, so it's cool. It's cool. If you look at the exterior of the bag, there's not a whole lot going on. So there are some very simple straps here on the back. They remind me of like the Topo Daypack. They are definitely simple. There is mesh on the backside here, some webbing here where you could attach a sternum strap. It doesn't come with one. They attach far enough away here that it wouldn't chafe your neck, or even bigger neck guys would probably be okay. They're comfortable enough. For a pack that's this big, I don't think it really needs to be any more than this. We talk about the GORUCK later. The GORUCK straps are a bit more beefy, but overall, I think these have been fine. I've used this bag off and on for a couple of months, and it's been great. The hardware is good here. Like, he's using aluminum hardware here for the strap adjusters, and they are smooth and work great. Webbing is nice. You'll find that the stitching and everything on this bag is impeccable. He's done a great job with that. Nothing on this bag feels cheap. It all feels very well put together and very nice. The top handle is a piece of 1.5, I believe, inch webbing that's been kind of wrapped around itself and stitched. It feels great. There's no padding or anything, but it feels good. It sits high off the bag, so it's easy to grab, and it feels like it's not going anywhere. So there is a loop thing here where you can stick a patchy thing. If you have some patchy things to stick on the loopy thing, then you're golden with this. This is one of the things you could not have on the bag if you want, if you order this bag from him custom, or you can keep it there. I like it there because I think it kind of breaks up the monotony of the front. Otherwise, it would just be like a flat panel, but that gives it a little bit of that something. The zippers on this bag, in my particular version, because as I mentioned, all of these will be different because they're made to order custom bags. My particular configuration has number 8 YKK AquaGuard zippers, the shiny ones here, both on this front pocket and on the main compartment. The inside zippers are all number 5 YKKs. They're all very smooth. They run great. Obviously, you can't like rip this bag open, and that's one thing that when I thought about getting this bag, I thought that it might make sense to have the non-AquaGuard zippers, because then you could rip the bag open like you do a GORUCK Bullet or something. But honestly, I kind of like the idea of the AquaGuards here because it gives it a little bit of a differentiation from those bags, and also it keeps the bag's very weather resistant, which goes with the material that we're using. I want to talk about the fact that it stands up perfectly on its own, like a very, very nice standing bag, and it's a very handsome bag, I think, like a very good looking bag. I mean, like, it looks good. The front pocket here, I think, is the first big win for this bag over something like the GR or like the GORUCK bags. That's because the GORUCK bags, this pocket goes all the way down to the bottom here, and it starts from this point. So if you have something long and flat, it's fine. But if you have anything else, it's a bit weird, because if you pack out the bag tight down here, we tend to pack our bags with things, you know, like down in this section most. So that means that the things that you put in this pocket that fall all the way down on a GORUCK bag, they're tight down here. But this bag, the pocket actually only goes to like here. So that means that your things are actually like raised above this sort of crush zone down here where things tend to hold. And in this pocket, I just keep like mask, hand sanitizer, and my keys. It's interesting to note that you can also use the space on the top here. On the GORUCK, you can't. It actually stops right along here. So you can use that space. If you have something really long, you could like stick it in, stick it up. I know my magazine bros, I don't know if you're like going to roll up your magazine and stick it in here. Seems as good a place as any, right? One of the things I want to mention, well, a couple of things. One thing, there is a zipper garage here, which I think is great in keeping with the weather resistance of this bag, and a very nice detail. The main zippers on this bag have this heat shrink thing here, heat shrink tubing, whereas it doesn't have it here. And I'm not really sure the reason for that, because I think it would be, in my humble opinion, it might be better to keep those the same. That way you kind of have a uniform look, I guess. Again, I don't know why he chose to do it this way. I should ask him, since we do talk enough, but in my case, I'm fine with it. I just think that like at some point I would like to probably add shrink wrap heat tubing stuff to this guy as well. The zippers are very smooth for AquaGuard zippers, as you can see, because the zipper line is very good. He worked on that zipper line hard, so he made sure that that zipper line was in such a way that the zippers would run smoothly along the zipper line. He's added these little toggles down here where you can actually hold it as you rip the zipper open. I'll show you later, because when this bag is packed out for like travel, like I have it actually right now, it's kind of important to have something to like tug on the bottom. So if we go into the inside, you can set the bag down to like here to open it this way, and that tends to be how I work out of this bag. It's interesting to note that it is a clamshell opening bag, but if you order this bag with water bottle pockets, which is one of the customizations he offers, the clamshell part, you can't do both. So if you have the pockets, they will stop here, and then the zipper will also, or sorry, they will start here and the zipper will stop here. I kind of like the idea that he doesn't just let you go ham and do whatever you want. He has kind of limits. It's like he could obviously do both those things, but he just doesn't think it works particularly well. And he'll tell you, and he kind of sticks to his guns. And I appreciate that. Good job, Philip. Nice. If you look at the bag like this, I just have my pouches here. This is actually a pouch from Filip Raboch, the maker of this bag. Custom pouch I had him make me. I use it for my tech. In here I have a, what is this? Oh yeah, this is a Mission Workshop Axis. This is for my toiletries and stuff. And in the bottom I have a GORUCK packing cube, which I'll show you in a second. The bag does open clamshell, as I mentioned, so you can zip it all the way, and you can open it clamshell like this, and you can put all your stuff in like this. So when traveling, that's definitely cool. You can see the inside liner of mine is a different type of EcoPack. I believe this is EcoPack like EPX 200, which is a kind of a actually pretty high quality for a liner of a bag, but it's anyway lighter than the outside of the bag. I did go with this color so the bag would be a bit lighter, like literally lighter. And I didn't really want, he offers all kinds of colors for this. I wanted mine to be a little bit normal, so I went with this. So you can see if I take this packing cube out, there is a small admin panel here, which it comes standard with this bag. You don't have to have it, you can get it swapped out for something else. There's a little tag here that says made in the Czech Republic, Filip Raboch Custom Gear. I tend to use this for like my charging cables and some other things. You could put like a, what are they called? You can put like one of these things, multi-tools. My wife bought it for me to make me feel like a man. And if you can put it in there if you want. The laptop sleeve is a unique one because like the GORUCK bullets don't have padded laptop sleeves. They actually have just like a sleeve that looks like this. This one's not padded either, and the back is padded but not the front of it. But that's okay. I think like it doesn't really matter a whole lot for a bag like this. The one thing that's a lot more important than the sleeve being padded, that the bottom of the laptop compartment is raised up off the bottom of the bag. So if you drop your bag, your laptop's gonna stay up. And he did this like intentionally to make it so that people could actually use this for their laptop. Another interesting thing to note is on the bottom here, there's some Velcro. Can you hear that? And you can actually take the frame sheet, which is kind of like just a foam pad, out of here, and you can roll this bag up and use it as like a packable bag if you wanted to, or something like that. You could also add a frame sheet to this if you wanted to. I tried it. I don't think the bag really needs it, but it's there if you do need it. On this side, you get the zippered mesh pocket. The mesh is nice enough. All the stitching and everything over here looks great. Opaque pocket, very similar to a GORUCK. In here, I just have like my little pouch thing with my wallet and stuff in it, and some headphones. And that's kind of it. That's how I had it packed out. Now, if I show you, like, if I was packing for travel, so this is a 10-liter GORUCK packing cube. I can do like a weekend, maybe 3-4 days with this packing cube. Keep it like this. And then on top, put my toiletries. I could use a smaller toiletries kit if I wanted to. Tech on top of there. And now this is where like these pull tabs come in handy because you can hold them and zip. And there you go. That's the basics of this bag. It's a simple bag. What I will say is it's held up amazingly well. I actually accidentally dragged it on the concrete the other day because I was carrying my daughter, and as I was dragging it, I thought it was above the concrete, but it was kind of scraping along. And there's like nothing at all. No problems at all on the bottom of the bag. So it held up a lot better than I think something like VX21 would, which is a 210D exterior, whereas this is a 400D exterior, so it does very well for this type of material. I didn't put my laptop in it, but you get the drift. My laptop's a 15.6 inch laptop, and it fits perfectly fine in here. With a little room to spare, you'd probably be tight with a 16 inch, but I think that if you ask Philip, it'll probably fit. As I said, raised up off the bottom, easy to get it in and out, all of those things. So, the elephant in the room is comparing this bag. So, this is the GORUCK Bullet 15, and as you can see, they are very similarly shaped. I'm not going to spend like an hour comparing them, but I will say there are some things I like better about the Bullet, some things I like better about Philip's bag, so we can just kind of go over them quickly, but you can see they are very similar. I do like the webbing here on the front of the Bullet. This is the newest version of the Bullet, so you can keep that in mind. It's apparently coming out again this spring where you can buy it. It's been out of stock for a while. The zippers on the Bullet are not AquaGuard, but they are very smooth. Easy to use one-handed. A little bit easier to use one-handed because they're not AquaGuard, but otherwise, similar thing. You can see the patch field here is in the same spot. I like this webbing. I kind of wish this had the webbing, but again, this is something you could add if you wanted to with Philip's bag. Now, there's no webbing on the sides here. The Bullet definitely feels smaller in use, so as I'm using the Bullet, I definitely feel like it's a slightly smaller bag. And when I say slightly, it's like very minute difference, but it definitely feels a little bit smaller. Probably the biggest difference between these two bags for me are the straps and the top handle. So I say these are probably the only parts of the GORUCK that I prefer, like I definitely prefer. The straps on the GORUCK definitely feel a little bit more beefy. To be honest, I don't know if either of these bags really need beefy straps, so that's probably not a big deal either way. I think both of them are perfectly fine and comfortable, but the GORUCK straps are definitely a bit stiffer and more beefy. Top handle. GORUCK makes some of the best top handles in the business, and this one is padded. Feels slightly better in your hand than does that one, but I will say I do like the fact that that one's kind of hangs off the bag a little bit more. This one's a little bit tight to the top, so I mean, probably a wash. as I was talking about earlier, the front pocket here, it goes like all the way down to here, so you can lose your stuff down in the bottom, and it does not go up like it does on that one. The zippers on this bag are like, it's like a number 8 here, and it's a number 10 YKK on the exterior. Now for some people who are gonna say this, I know, the GORUCK guys, and I am a GORUCK guy, they're gonna say the bullet's always a number 8. It is not, in fact, always a number 8. The newest Vietnam version of this bag, the first run of those bags, had number 10 YKKs on the outside. I don't know if that was a mistake or just something that happened, but I have confirmed that I believe they are number 8s again now, but this one in particular is a number 10 YKK zipper, and that feels like a slight upgrade over the number 8 here. It's like definitely very one-handable and smooth, but again, that's not something you normally would expect from a bullet. So I had to include this in the video because this is like my baby. This is the Bullet 15 2-compartment that is modified to have a padded bottom and a padded laptop sleeve. So this is like a whole nother category of loveliness. I love this bag to death. This bag also actually has a pocket that stops shallow, so it doesn't have that same issue that I was talking about with the other GORUCK. And like the zippers on this bag are like, they're number 8s, so they're smaller, but just so smooth. They're just so smooth. Similar deal on both sides. This one's made in the USA, but I don't think that part matters that much. The other one's made in Vietnam. Again, actually, the current GORUCK stuff made in Vietnam tends to be like maybe even better than some of the USA stuff. This has 2 compartments, as you can see, so it kind of chumps both of those. The second compartment here, if you just buy one of these bags off the internet or something, it's not going to have a padded compartment back here. They're actually like just floppy. This one's been modified to be completely padded. So my laptop actually, I mean, I'll show you. This is a 15.6-inch laptop, and fits perfectly fine in that laptop sleeve. You can see the laptop just hanging out there. So, but this is not something you can get easily, cheaply, or any of those things. Also, the straps are even beefier on these, quite big. But that bag aside, you can see that the sleeve on the back of the bullet is just a sleeve, similar to what that one is like, except it's not raised up off the bottom at all. So your laptop will clunk against the ground when you use this. And the D-ring, there's a ring on the top here that's just webbing on this guy. It's a metal one here, and there's a hydration pass-through, not on that. Again, it all depends. They both have padded bottoms. They both feel very good. They both have mesh pockets here, opaque pockets here, all that kind of stuff. What I forgot to mention earlier is that this bag is 500D Cordura. I should just poke myself in the eye and it feels terrible, but I'm gonna soldier on. I'm soldiering. I might be squinting, but I'm soldiering. In any event, it's 500D Cordura, made in Vietnam. The back here is 210D high tenacity something or other nylon, and feels nice enough. Now, the reason I brought this bag out here is this is the Brown Buffalo ConcealPack 21, and what I want to say is that this pack, in a lot of ways, reminds me more of this one, and that's like, basically when you look at a bag like this, it has like a bit of like artisanship to it. The GORUCK feels nicely made, but it's definitely like a bag that comes off a line, if that makes sense, whereas this feels like a handmade thing. This one, even though they do kind of come off a line, I believe, still, or now, this one has that feeling of something that was handcrafted, or like, yeah, it has a bit of that artisanship to it. It's 1000D Cordura in this one's case on the outside, but what makes it feel a little bit similar to the other one, makes it similar to this, is it has an X pack on the inside, which kind of gives it the same kind of vibe as the inside of this guy. The top handle also has a similar vibe to me. So this bag though is like $400. So you're looking at a bit of a different vibe when you're looking at this one, or a bit of a different price bracket. To me, this feels like a mini version, like a mini simple. It's like, this would be like the GR1 to the Bullet, if that makes sense. One of my favorite bags. So that's about it for this video. If you have any questions about this backpack, feel free to let me know. It's a great bag. Very cool that it's built by hand by a guy. And there's something to be said about the connection you have to a bag. Or, like, I have tons of bags, as you can see. So for me, like, they're all special in some way. That's why I have them. But if you're the type of person that's going to get like 1 or 2 bags, and one of those bags is made by an artisan specifically for your needs, and you can actually like reach out and talk to that guy and have a message within minutes, just even to say how much you enjoy it and send a picture back and forth, is something cool about that, honestly. And I think that Filip is, from what I feel, or like my instinct says that he's not going to be able to stay small like that for too long, because he's going to get enough orders that he's going to have to upscale at some point. So I think now is the time to try and grab one of these if you can. Nice work, Filip. I definitely like it, and get on my Traveler, buddy. If you know, you know. Anyway, talk soon. Bye-bye, kids. See you later.